Good evening, dreamers. Welcome to the stream. Tonight was a question mark night, and that meant I didn't really know what I wanted to stream that night. But I decided, you know what? There's one game I've been meaning to do a playthrough of on stream. And it's a game that actually got me into live streaming. And got me into just like actually trying to pursue my dreams, at least half-heartedly. That game is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. A game that has influenced many other games in its time. Games like Craftopia, Genshin Impact, Horizon Zero Dawn. Even though that game came out the same year, Zero Dawn started development after Breath of the Wild started development, and there's been videos of Breath of the Wild, you know, in existence, like E3 demos and stuff. And I believe the developers of Horizon said that was a source of influence. Then, of course, there's Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and even in some strange way, Craftopia, and Palworld, especially Palworld. People like to think Palworld is kind of like, Pokemon, but Palworld owes its roots to Craftopia, and Craftopia owes its roots to both Genshin Impact and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild owes its roots to Minecraft and, to a lesser extent, Infiniminer. The developers of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild have actually stated that Minecraft was one source of inspiration for the game. I guess the weapon durability thing, which is still a sore point for a lot of people in this game. Hello, Devo! Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be playing Breath of the Wild. And you know what? Let me turn the music off. I want to set the mood. Let's get right into it. Because I'm going to run to midnight tonight. We'll just turn that music off for a second. I'll turn my desktop audio off so I don't have echoes. So I want to set the stage. I already forgot when Breath of the Wild came out. Oh no, this bit is terrible. It's 2017, right? Yeah. So, the Nintendo Switch got announced in November 2016. They just did a shadow drop. Here's the new system. Here's when it's coming out. And then there was one final announcement, and that was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was coming out on the exact same day. So that night, when the Nintendo Switch pre-orders opened up, I wanted the black Joy-Con ones. I didn't want the neon one. And I looked everywhere for an open pre-order. GameStop, sold out. Best Buy, sold out. Amazon, sold out. Walmart, they still had some in stock. I threw down my pre-order for a Nintendo Switch, the same one I still have today. A copy of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and a Breath of the Wild Princess Zelda amiibo. With her holding the Sheikah slate. Which is actually modeled after the Wii U gamepad. Which is the last remnant of the Wii U ever existing. But it could also be doubled as a Nintendo Switch, so I guess it kind of works in their favor. You get off work on March 3rd, 2017. Fortunately, you worked early morning day shift. So you had the whole afternoon, and you took off the weekend to play it. You get home. You have your Switch charge. After it's done charging, you undock it, you go through the initial setup, you dock the bad boy into the dock. You unwrap your copy of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You just pop the case open. And you give it a sniff. New game smell. I'm not the only one that does that, right? I'm not weird for that. You don't lick the Nintendo Switch game cartridge because you've heard it tastes like sin, and you put it into your Nintendo Switch. And you launch the game for the first time, and this is what you experience.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber. Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way. Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
Ah, yes. Sorry for going away for a moment. I just wanted to recreate the very first experience with my Nintendo Switch and the very first game for it. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So many games have reused this exact same shot and setup. Craftopia being the most egregious one, straight up using the shot one for one. Which is a little bit funny. I am a Zelda master. I am someone that can play through The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time with 3 hearts and not have any problems. I was ready for this game. Or so I thought. What followed afterward was a series of game overs that graciously humbled me. You see, unlike past Zelda games, weapons are not special. Weapons break. Weapons are more like disposable tissues. They are to be used and disposed of. And you are to have a constant cycle of new weapons. Like I said, the developers of this game stated that Minecraft was one inspiration for this game's design. I feel really old when I realize that Minecraft came out before this game and existed years before this game was even in development. And even older still, realizing that this game is older than 5 years. (2024). 7 years ago. In March to this.
Marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
And of course the game will give us guidance. There's our main quest. Unlike past Zelda games, there are no hearts to find in pots. There are still pots to break. And you can still find rupees in them. But you can't cut grass and find rupees. And you can't cut grass and find hearts. Hearts don't exist. Remember, this game's inspired by Minecraft. And Minecraft's DNA does exist in this game a little bit. They took away the sandbox part of Minecraft with the multiple terrain, but kept the craft and survive, or at least just the survive aspects of the game. So, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is an open-world survival game that doesn't follow the tropes of constantly needing to eat in order to not starve, constantly needing to drink water, treating sprains and stuff. This is how you make a survival game. This first stream might be a little bit slow. There may not be a lot of progress because I'm going to be gushing over the game's mechanics and why it's absolutely genius. Just on the main screen alone, which we don't have to worry about time passing right now, we're in an area called the Great Plateau. You can actually see the outline of the region right here. The demo at E3 was only this area. Now, of course, there are crazy glitches you can do to escape the Great Plateau and go right for the end of the game, but we're going to take our time. while on the Great Plateau, the sun will remain high in the sky and will never set. At least I think so. I might be wrong on this. It's been 7 years. Give me a break. But there's a few things I want to point out. So, of course, you got your hearts. That's your health. Each heart is actually consistent of 4 hits. So Link has 12 hits until he's dead. So after Link gets hit 12 times, he's dead. At least you'd think that's the case. That's not actually the case. Link has 12 HP. And any damage that you take can be reduced by an amount. If I open the menu again and we go over to our armor, you'll see that the well-worn trousers and the old shirt have a little value next to them, a little 1. This 1 doesn't mean that's how many we got, because there'd be like an X and a number next to it. That's an armor value. Enemies hurt in this game. The most common enemy could drain most of your health if you're not careful. There's an armor system. This game actually is an RPG. There's light RPG elements. The biggest mistake I made in this game was thinking that this is going to be like all the other Zelda games where you just have to worry about hearts and that's it. No, there's weapon attack damage, weapon durability, different effects for weapons and potions, and armor. It should be obvious that the higher your armor rating is, the less damage you will actually take, as the damage an enemy has to deal to you has to first go through your armor before it affects you, which is a good thing. We go over to our weapons, we can see that the tree branch has a 2 on it. Every time we swing the tree branch and hit an enemy, we're going to do 2 points of damage. But tree branches only have like 5 uses. The weapons have a few states. There is a weapon durability system, and one bugbear of mine is, unlike Minecraft, there's no durability bar on a weapon, so there's no way to tell exactly how much durability a weapon has. At least at first. You see, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild started the trend of not having an instruction booklet with the game, and this is a game that really needed an instruction booklet because it was so different. Right now, this tree branch has not taken any durability damage, and you can tell because there's a little sparkle over the icon. A sparkle means that the weapon is at full durability. If there's no sparkle, it means that the weapon has taken some damage. Eventually, you will see a message stating that the weapon is about to break. I want to look this up for a second. I believe when you see that, it means that it has exactly 5 hits left. Why can't I maximize my browser window? Let me look this up. Zelda Breath of the Wild weapon durability. I want to confirm this, because this is actually important to note. I can't find it. We'll just have to take note. But there is a way to tell exactly how much durability a weapon has, or at least how much durability a weapon has before it's about to break. There will be an alert that'll tell you, hey, the weapon's about to break. And that's when you have, I think it's exactly 5 hits left. So you can hit an enemy with the weapon 4 times and then throw it. The final thing is food. There's all different types of materials you can get. The Hylian Shroom, you can see, is going to give us 2 HP back, so 2 units of health back, or half a heart. And then there's the Bladed Rhino Beetle, which says, if we boil the horns alongside monster parts to concoct an elixir that'll raise our attack power. Yeah, there's stat ups and stat decreases. There's a stamina wheel. Most actions of the game, running, swimming, climbing, require stamina. Now, of course, there is a glitch where if you do a Monster Hunter claw, put my pinky over the sprint button, and put my hand over the damn D-pad, I can just do this. That doesn't seem to work anymore. Interesting. Didn't think that was patched. I guess it was patched. But that was a bug you could do. But when you run out of stamina, you can't do any stamina action until it's fully charged. So it's usually better to not let the stamina wheel completely drain if you want to use it more quickly. It's also very important to pay attention to your stamina when doing something like climbing because, well, if your stamina runs out when you climb, you're gonna fall. I'll try to demonstrate safely. Another tiny little detail about this game, this is something that Genshin Impact itself doesn't do. Pay attention to Link's head while I'm climbing. There is a climbing difficulty system. The more steep the incline is, the more stamina you will drain. So it's actually more advantageous to find rest spots and angles that aren't quite as rough. Like as you can see now, Link isn't sweating. But now he starts sweating because this is really, really steep. Hanging does not cause you to lose stamina, fortunately. And there are stamina restorative elixirs you can make really early game. So you could always open your inventory and chug a potion or an elixir to get your stamina back, or even give you bonus stamina. But of course, you know, if you happen to have no stamina, and you run out, you'll fall. So it's always important to pay attention to your stamina. Bottom right corner of the screen is our mini-map. It's aligned north. We've got a little icon, and we've got our objective marker. To the left of that are two icons. The bottom icon with the little waves, I'm going to do different actions and I want you to pay attention to it. I'm going to walk. Now I'm going to run. Now I'm going to sprint. Now I'm going to crouch down. I'll walk first. Now I'll crouch. Straight out of Tenku, the ninja game, Tenku. There is a stealth system in this game. And that little icon that a lot of people seem to forget about is a visual representation of how much noise you are making. To make the least amount of noise, I think you have to get completely naked. Make even less noise if you're not wearing any armor, which puts you in a really tight spot. You better make sure you kill whatever you're going to jump. Or, you know, don't forget to put your armor back on. Finally, I'm pretty sure you could probably figure out what the degree F is. Which, fun fact, if you're actually playing in a different language, or you're in, like, you have your Switch set to, like, not America, it'll actually say Celsius instead. Palworld uses this same system. Craftopia uses this system. There's a few other games that use this system. It should be pretty obvious, but I'll zoom in just to show a little more detail on what it is. So it's basically Link's heat tolerance. It's pretty decent right now. You'll notice that there's 3 blue bars and 3 red bars. You can drink elixirs to make those red bars shrink. Basically, if the little needle touches the red or the blue illuminated bars, Link will start taking damage. So you can kind of think of the grayed out section to be Link's temperature tolerance, and if you go too far to the right or the left, you're screwed. I don't think there's any way to completely eliminate the bars, but it is possible to get it down to like the very third segment. So there's only the really, really extreme cold and extreme hot, which extreme heat is over on Death Mountain, and extreme cold is on the back of one of the dragons. Weapons aren't the only way to deal damage in this game. Pay attention to your environment as well. This is something that was demonstrated at E3. You push rocks and roll them downhill. With it, you can get the jump on enemies. But for now, let's go talk to this old man that's down here. As that's where the game wants us to go next. Oh ho! Well met, stranger. It's rather unusual to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? I'm gonna note this again. Very first Zelda game where Link actually speaks. Even though you don't hear it. Maybe Link is doing sign language. Because Link has taken a vow of silence. That's why he doesn't speak in the games. It's a canonical thing. It's so he can devote his whole being to the craft of the sword. But he does talk, which is rather interesting. Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here, alone, for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Where are we? Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. I shall be here for some time. Please let me know if I may be of service. Alright, so what is he doing? I am relaxing by the fireside, of course. Although I'll need to cook myself another baked apple at some point. Simple foods such as apples are fine to eat raw, but roasting them on the fire makes them tastier and more nutritious. Like this thing? A direct heat has softened and sweetened this apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. Oh yeah, so here's another mechanic of the game that's told to us. Little something to take note of. Materials don't seem to have a limit, but food does have a limit. You can only store so much food. There's some cooked food that is stackable, like baked apples and Hylian shrooms. We can hold up to 5 items as well. Let's put them down by the fire. Wait. And quickly pick them up before they burn. Both the baked apple and the toasty Hylian shroom will restore 3 units of health instead of 2, so it's not much of a better boost in health. We could just eat these raw, but you get a better use out of them. But I'm going to grab this item right here. The torch. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, you plan to use it? To set things on fire. That is a rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch will make a good weapon if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them. And we're told about locking on. Very nice. I'm gonna grab this too. That lizard just got away. Now, with this axe we have, the woodcutter's axe, it's a bit unwieldy. But one use for it... How do I attack again? Now, this will work with any bladed weapons. Swords, axes, anything with a blade. We can get some wood. Now, with one piece of wood and a torch or some way to light a fire, you can make a campfire anywhere. Provided that it's not raining. And if it's raining, you better hope that... Did I just pick up 2 rocks? I just glitched the game and get a second rock. Let's grab our torch for now. And now it's time to begin with this. Oh boy. Yahaha, you found me. Huh? You're not Hestu. But you can see me? I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. It's poop. Oh, and my friends are hiding in lots of different places too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. Yep, Korok seeds. There's a lot of them. I think there's 900 in total in the game, but you do not need to get all 900 of them. And for the love of all that's good and holy, do not try to think that these are like golden skulltulas. You get nothing but a giant golden poop if you get them all. It's just literally just a little trophy. It's not worth it. You don't even need all the Korok seeds to max out your weapons. I'm actually going to look it up. 441. There's 900 Korok seeds in this game. There's over 1,000 in Tears of the Kingdom. Good God. But you only need 441 of the 900, so under half. I see Diego's here. Hello, Diego. It's going great. I'm playing Breath of the Wild, the very first game. It came out on the Switch. I don't have any bombs, so I have no way to open that right now. I'll just take note of it. That's over there. In fact, I'm just going to put a mark right here on my map. And it'll come back here. Little trick, early game. Take your frickin' clothes off when you're in water. You'll swim slightly faster. It makes the stamina consumption a little more efficient because you're getting more distance for burning the same amount of stamina. If you run out of stamina, you'll drown, and you'll take a bit of damage. Unless you don't have enough health to take that damage, in which case you'll just game over, which is rather funny. But we need to be heading to the point marked on our Sheikah slate. That's where we're going, but we got some bad guys up ahead. We need to be a little careful here. What the hell is that thing? The game hasn't told us this yet, but we can click the right stick to pull out the scope. The game will tell us that after we start the tower. It's usually a good idea to use the scope to poke around and see. Yeah, he doesn't look very, very nice. Looks rather mean. I'll try to get the jump on him if I can. May not be able to. The game's controls are slowly coming back to me. And yes, standing in tall grass does actually lower your visibility. It makes it so that enemies can't see you as easily. It's another mechanic of the game that the game does not tell you right away. And there might be like an NPC that tells you this. I think he can sniff me with that snout of his, though. Sneaky, sneaky. Fuck yeah. His club is mine. First blood. First blood. Even though the stick is a crappy weapon, in the right hands of the right player, anything can become a deadly weapon. Including bombs. That's some barrels. You can throw barrels at enemies, too. It'll do damage. I think I need something flammable, or I need bombs to break these open. Damn durable thing. I think if I throw a barrel at a barrel, they'll break. There might be a lot of this in the stream of me dicking around. No good. I do want to head up this way, though. I do know where some items are. There's a pair of trousers we can get that's going to give us, I think, 2 defense instead of 1. I think there's a bokoblin there. Alright, you see how I draw out my tree branch and it says badly damaged? And it's blinking? That means this tool has exactly 5 uses left. Or 4. We'll count. A sneak strike is only 1 knock off a weapon. Another guy. Seems to be slacking off. And yes, even back in 2017, Switch games ran at like sub 30 at times. 2. It's 2. 2 uses. I'm just gonna throw the weapon and break it. Boko Club is stronger. Switch back to my tree branch. Oh wait, I just remembered I could use the woodcutter's axe to break the barrels. Oh, there's an enemy in there. Chew jelly. Chew jelly is incredibly useful in this game. You can't stick it to arrows like you can in Tears of the Kingdom, but it still has its use. Alien trousers, yes! Now we have 4 defense instead of 2, so now we can take a little more damage. We can take more of a beating before dying, which is good. I grab my sword. The Rested Sword's probably the best weapon early game, but they also break. A lot of your early game stuff is going to be fragile. Remember what I said about boulders and rocks? Yeah, we're going to use those. I think there's a bunch of dudes at the bottom of this hill. Dick Dastardly time. Oh, are you shitting? I missed. Oh well. If at first you don't succeed, break your back trying to push the damn rock. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Come on. Got one! Oh, my friend just died, but I'm gonna just sit here and just exist. I'm gonna try to sneak up on this guy, but I don't think it'll work out. Nope. Come at me. You gonna come at me? What are you gonna do? Come on, you. Try that again. Too early. One more time. Bitch. Bitch, 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 bitch. That's 4 hits. I'll take that. And now, I'm gonna whoop your ass, because you've been bad. Ah yes, the sneak strike. You have the sneak strike, and you have the... Let's get rid of that. You have the sneak strike, and you have the flurry rush. Those are things you need to master in this game if you want to survive. I like to talk hot shit, and how I'm good at this game, I'm really not. If I was good at this game, I'd play it on Master Mode. I would just, like, immediately quit and play Master Mode. But... Master Mode scares me. It's a good thing that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have a Master Mode. Maybe. Maybe I'll do a Master Mode stream. Not a playthrough. Hell no. I don't feel like going into an early grave, but the stream, maybe. If I remember correctly, there is a dude up here with a shield. This is why the flurry rush is important, because you can't exactly hit the guy with a shield. You're gonna hit his shield instead. But if you flurry rush, you can go through his shield. We're just gonna go over this way. Sneaky sneak up on him. Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that. Bokoblin booty. Baby. Spank! Ah, nice. Got a shield. And a sword. Ah, let's get rid of this. Give me an actual weapon. Yes, the Traveler's Sword. The Rusty Broadsword does more damage than the Traveler's Sword, and I asked that at once when I first streamed this game back in 2017, and somebody said tetanus. It's tetanus damage because it's rusted. And I went and thought for a second and went, you know what? That actually makes sense. Tetanus. The extra tetanus. Sneaky, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I go sneaky, 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 sneaky. Now the other guy's gonna get upset. Bonk. Arrows. Arrows are a hot commodity in this game, and actually there's a way to get a lot of arrows. When I played this game before Tears of the Kingdom came out, I actually just found out breaking crates is a really good way to get arrows, because Beetle stops selling arrows after you have a certain amount of them, but you can still get more if you keep breaking wooden stuff. They'll just drop. Chances are I'll get off the Great Plateau tonight's stream, and then we'll start heading to Kakariko and Hateno Village. But I don't know if we'll make it all the way to Hateno Village. I'm gonna take my time. If there's a ruin or something that may or may not have treasure in it, we're gonna go poke our heads in there and find out. Chica Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. Yeah, that's right. We are activating Hyrule's 5G cellular tower system. We're like the Verizon of Hyrule. Erecting a tower. Now, there's something very interesting about the design of the Sheikah Towers. I wonder if anyone's already caught up on what they kind of look like. Aside from the top of them looking like a butt plug. I'm not trying to get at the fact that it kind of looks like a butt plug. I mean the actual shape of the tower itself.
You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then. You must hurry, Link. before it's too late.
Now, the game does make us think that we're in a race against time. We're not. This isn't any sort of Majora's Mask situation. Devo, you said an arrow. No, actually no. Think about what the Sheikah Towers do. You go to them and activate them. They scan the surroundings and they download an aerial view of topographical information to your Sheikah slate. Looking at the icon itself may even give you a better idea of what these things are supposed to be. Doesn't it kind of look like a satellite dish? An upward pointing satellite dish that are uplinking to something that the ancient Sheikah tribe had launched into space. I'm not saying, but I'm just insinuating maybe it's possible. Somehow, that the ancient Sheikah have gone to space. I mean, it's not too far-fetched to think of someone from the Zelda universe going to the moon. I mean, Majora's Mask, the guy at the bomb shop was making a rocket. He's going to land on the moon. Someone else is aiming to blow it up, I think. Good luck with that. But down we go. My. Or Ara. That's what Ara means, by the way. In case anyone's wondering. It just means my oh my. It would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It's almost as though a long-dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I heard a voice. Well now, a voice, you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? No. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil. But just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here, on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish. Ooh. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. Paraglider? Oh! Piqued your interest, have I? Yes. I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not. I will happily agree to give you my paraglider. But not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? An adventure log. Your adventures will be detailed here. The isolated plateau. After your descent from the tower, the old man told you that the kingdom of Hyrule was destroyed 100 years ago by Calamity Ganon. You hear a voice coming from Hyrule Castle, but you cannot reach it unless you leave the plateau using the paraglider. The old man said that he will give you the paraglider in exchange for the treasure that lies within a hidden location somewhere. Come. Let me show you something. Do you see that structure there? The one shining with a strange light? It began glowing at the exact moment of those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure. Wouldn't you? A treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Okay, then. Over there we go, into the strange thing. Why not? Treasure! What's an adventure without treasure, am I right? Speaking of treasure, let's make sure we grab these ancient parts from all of these destroyed... I guess automatons? I don't know what these are. Though I don't exactly like the look of them. I'm just glad they appear to be motionless. Imagine if one of them shook to life. How terrifying that would be. Hot-footed frogs. Grab some of these. No, now that it's out of the water, I can't get it. I'm not easily distracted. I'm grabbing materials as I see them. Because we will need them. The very first time I played this game, I did grab materials, like a hoarder, but I did not use them. Oh, man. Oh! Shrine. Oh, what's this? A chest with an EX on it? Ooh, a ruby. I have the DLC. I bought the DLC when the DLC came out. The EX chest, there are 3 of them on the plateau. One of them gives us an exclusive shirt, the other one gives us a ruby, and a third one gives us... I think it's some other common item. It's either a weapon or a ruby or something like that. Rubies are actually important. You can sell rubies for money, but you're better off selling meat for money, because you're going to need the rubies for something else. I don't know if we'll get to that something else tonight or not. But I'll be sure to talk about it if I remember when the time comes. I could just gush about it, but I kind of want to just talk about it when it's relevant. I feel like this stream will flow a little better if I do that. I didn't pause for a moment, but there is strange writing on the doors that opened up. People have actually transcribed the text that appears. Like all the runes that are around the little floating platform, they do spell out words in English. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Uman Ao. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Magnesis trial. Uman Ao. The little runes that appear actually are transcribing to words in English. The door, like these little runes over here, each one corresponds to a letter in the English alphabet. And they're not randomly placed. They actually do spell out a word. On the entrance, the little doors that opened up, it actually says dungeon, which is interesting. It's a little tiny detail that some people caught up on. It's one of those things that the normal player just wouldn't notice, nor care about. But, hey, that's Nintendo. That's Nintendo's development for you. I don't remember what the Sheikah stones say when it downloads stuff. It may be downloading or adding rune or something like that. But yeah, magnesis. We have the power of magnets. Water, fire, air, dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? Well, here's how they work. Now, of course, you can move the thing with the right stick if you want. Or, remember, your Nintendo Switch controller has motion control, so you can do this. I will warn you that it is possible to kill yourself by doing that. And also kill enemies. You can take damage from that. Unfortunately, this is not Tears of the Kingdom, so I can't be really crafty with these and, like, make a platform. Or maybe I can. Nope, never mind. It fell. Although it is interesting that you can see some aspects of Tears of the Kingdom be in this game. Yeah, see, you can very much get hurt real bad by these. You gotta be a little bit on the careful side. I can't remember, was there a treasure chest up there? Why is there a second cube? Why two? Why two cubes? I'm starting to miss the Ultra Hand ability already. Oh, these little feckers. What I just did is a shield parry. You do that by holding down the shield button and then pushing the A button. You can counter and deflect different things. And what that was, what I just fought, was a small guardian. We might be seeing larger guardians in the future. And it should you should take a little mental note that lasers can be deflected with a shield. That may become critically important in the future. And I do mean critically important, as in life or death important. Although the timing can be a little bit on the tricky side. Well, it was the first shrine done. There are a total of 100 shrines in the game. When you get all 100 shrines done, then and only then will Link be granted a green tunic that has absolutely garbage defense stats until you fully power it up. You've proven to possess the resolve of a hero. I am Uman Ao, the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of the goddess Hylia and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. Pondering spirit orb. A symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. And then he dissolves away into energy. Same kind of energy that the Zonai used. Huh. You know, this game was designed before Tears of the Kingdom, so that's just purely a coincidence. It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. Paraglider, please? I encourage you to slow down for a moment, my courageous friend. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there. What do you mean? It's been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago. Or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines and I'll give you my paraglider. So I need more now? I said treasure, but I never said there'd only be 1 treasure. Whether it's 1 treasure or 4, what's the difference for a young go-getter like yourself? Since I'm feeling generous, I'll also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Are you joking? I am afraid not, but do not worry. I have another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you awoke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Or, so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. The old man explained there's a total of 4 shrines on the plateau. He said that he will give you the paraglider once you've acquired the spirit orb from all of the shrines. He told you to survey the plateau from atop the tower to find the remaining shrines. He also pointed out that you can use your Sheikah slate if you need to travel quickly. Okay, well apparently it works. You can actually travel from the Sheikah slate at any time in the game. Unless there's like, you're in like a boss fight or something, I think. I think that's the only time you can't do it. So if you're about to die and you can open the menu, yeet yourself away from the situation and you should be fine. Wait a minute, how the hell did he get up here? I'm surprised it took you so long to catch up with an old man like me. How did you leave an old man to his secrets? Now then. I wanted you to join me up here so you can use this as a vantage point to search for shrines. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? Look through it and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. Pins on your map serve as a reference points for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere and you're interested in. Alright, I got it. Go ahead and take a look for if you feel inclined to do so. Oh, I feel inclined to do so. Okay, well there's 1 shrine. You said there were 3 more, right? There's another shrine. And... oh. There's the third one. Well, that one looks to be the closest, so I guess we're going to be heading over that way. There's a treasure chest over there. I want that treasure chest. I knew about the scope before the game introduced it to me when I first played this because I watched E3 and I watched them basically talk about the different camps. This one. Stealth is useful in this game. If you go running into a camp guns-ho, you could very well find yourself dead. Hit an enemy's head with an arrow to perform a critical hit that deals double damage. So the problem here is these guys are going to immediately detect me. Their cone of vision covers themselves. The left and right one covers the back of this guy, I think. Yep. Little trick for arrows. You can farm arrows from enemies. You can only do, I think, 5 at a time for doing that. There are better ways to get arrows, like just breaking these crates, for example. Bokoblin fangs and bokoblin horns can be sold for money. You can also sell them at a special shop to get a different currency called Mon. Let's see, acorns, a few apples, some arrows. You see, I just got a few arrows from breaking this crate. Break crates when you see them. I think you can also use a regular sword. No, you can't. It has to be a two-handed weapon. Two-handed bladed weapons. Like axes. There are different weapon classes. It is possible to find yourself without any weapons, but in that situation, what you want to do is there's usually loose weapons around the world that you can pick up. Then you just want to sneak strike an enemy. And, knock them down. Most of the time you can knock enemies back. If you knock them on their ass, they'll usually drop their weapon. Ah, cooking pots. Cooking pots. Here we go. This is where we're going to be, getting into cooking. Alright, so, remember how a regular apple gives you half a heart, and a cooked apple gives you 3 units of health? We'll cook one of these. We'll get a simmered fruit. It gives us 1 heart. If we cook 2 of these, what's it going to give me? I think it's 2 hearts, right? Yep, 1 heart per each. A drawback, though. They take up an entire inventory slot. So, you know, better healing, but it takes up more space. And like I said, you only have 3 pages of food. So that's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 60. 60 items. 60 healing items. And that is also for elixir, so if we combine you with... I think what strengthens it is the monster parts? Is it monster parts that strengthen it? No. It was the number of the item is what strengthens it. Let me put that away. Give me the beetle. And the fang. Combine this together and we get a mighty elixir that's going to give us a attack up boost for 7 minutes and 40 seconds, which is going to be really useful when we fight stronger enemies with weaker weapons. So there are ways to turn things in your favor. What's one acorn give me? Acorn gives me what? Sauteed nuts, it does half a heart. But if I combine an apple and sauteed nuts, what do I get? Simmered fruit with 2 hearts. So it's like if you combine... Like, the apple restores your health, the acorn restores your health. And there's some, like, weird bonus thing if you combine different ingredients that do the same effect. It strengthens the effect. As far as the chew jelly goes, we don't want to put that in the cooking pot. We want to go over this way. Sit them on the ground, it'll get near the fire, and boom. Red chew jelly. I'll see an icon that says cook. We just tilt the camera over this way. Face away from and drop them. I thought that would make them begin to burn. Yeah, it will. Yes, it will. We can get some baked apples. Baked apples are really good, though. Like, simmered fruit versus just spamming baked apples. That's the question. I think when it comes to fruits, maybe not acorns. I think a roasted nut is not going to give you that much versus the apples. Oh, I wanted to actually burn it. I wanted to... No. Don't mind me. I'm just, like, messing everything up. Let me just eat that. Eat that just to free up the inventory slot. If it's going to heal less than a heart, then I might as well just have it be like the toasted version. Hold that. Put the camera away. Yeah, it only does half. It would be better to combine those two together. I would say that meat is probably the best thing to cook. So until you get your hands on some meat, it's probably better just to roast the apples. Now, I could just make a campfire by placing down my wood and hitting the chew jelly with anything. Literally anything. Like, I could hit it with a stick and cause it to go off. But I want to wait till I find some more chew. Like, chews usually drop 1 to 2 things of chew jelly. And as long as you have 1 piece of elemental chew jelly and you set regular chew jelly down, you can just renew the stuff. You can always have a little fire bomb. It's too bad you can't throw items in this game, because if you could, I would just throw the chew jellies and they'd probably explode. And be rather amusing to explode. Why don't I switch to a better weapon? What's something that's damaged? This. Saying I'll get to Kakariko is a bit bold. I think we'll probably just get off the Great Plateau tonight. You can very easily spend hours just exploring the Great Plateau. Like I said, I'm going to take my time with this playthrough. Oh, we have these guys. Traveling at night's usually a bad idea. But these guys usually give you weapons. They give you good weapons, though. I'll take that. Now, why are you guys still alive? Oh, okay. One spawned over at the camp and threw a barrel. That's fun. A Boko Club that's about to break. I don't. Usually a good idea to carry a fair amount of different weapons. Actually, let me get rid of the torch. The torches actually, I think, do lose durability over time while they're being burned, but not that much. The reason I came over here is because there's some meat. Meat. Seared steak, yum. Link can't subsist his little twink body with just vegetables, man. He's gonna get all messed up. He's gonna have some meat in his diet. All men need meat. Let me get this punk up here. I feel like I'm too far away to land this shot. Never mind. A bunch of punks in here. We're sleeping around something that looks flammable. It would be unfortunate if something like this were to happen. What? Well, it would be unfortunate if something like this were to happen. Okay, never mind. The game just hates me. What was supposed to happen is the little torch was supposed to land on the barrels and go boom. Never mind, it just it blew up itself. Good job. Good job. I want that spiked Poco Club. That is something I do want. Now, this isn't my first rodeo of this game, so I have a general idea what I'm doing. So I'm coming over here. We gotta see what's in these chests. Ooh, fire arrows. Oh man, Bo died. You know, actually, I should go to that camp and wait till daytime, because it is dangerous to explore at night. Those stalled boblins that popped up out of the ground, they only appear at night. Makes traveling at night a little more dangerous. I mean, you can just travel at night if you want. Or you could rest by the campfire until daytime. I don't think resting by the campfire restores your health, though. It only, it only passes the time. That campfire didn't extinguish because that's a lit campfire object that's basically meant to always be lit unless it starts raining. Speaking of rain, bottom right corner of the screen, we have a new icon. We see there's a time now. So time is now passing while they're on the plateau. It wasn't while we're on the plateau, time doesn't pass, it was only like until we get the first spirit orb. But not only is time passing, but so is the weather. You can see right now it's cloudy. Eventually you'll start seeing parts where like weather will change. And weather is not universal. Weather does change depending on where you are. Some areas it's always raining, some areas it's a thunderstorm. If it's always one type of weather, it's usually because of a scripted event. But I don't think it rains on the Great Plateau. There's like weather zones or something. I'm going to go ahead and manually save my game. In the event you die, it does shoot you back to your last save. Fortunately, the game is really good with autosaves. But the reason I'm saving my game is because we're about to encounter something very unfriendly. This thing. Remember those little guardians we fought? Yeah! Here's the full version of these things. They're not nice. And I knew that was going to happen. That's why I saved. That happened because I messed up the timing. I was trying to parry the laser. Much like with the little small ones. It is possible to do it. I'm all the way back here because this is the last point where I saved, remember? You can save at any point in the game, too. So it's really easy to just save scum. But you only have one save. You don't have multiple saves, only one. But your autosaves do go up to, I think, 5, right? Yeah, it's 5 autosaves. So if I stay right here and just pop a card save, if I die, I'll be right back here. Right, it's... I forget if it's where... There's an audio cue for it, too. There's a time where there's a sound that plays, that's when you want to parry. It's either the high-pitched beep or the vroom sound. It's one of those two. I'm going to die quite a few times until I can get this timing down. I want to get this timing down. Because I need to get it down. Alright, that was too early of a parry, I think. Because I did the parry action. And then the laser hit me, so that was too early. Your distance to and from the Guardian also affects the timing as well. You know what, I think I just found out the timing trick. Don't stare at the Guardian, stare at the targeting reticule that's over Link. I pushed the parry button as soon as the red dot disappeared from Link. There was like a small little animation it did, where the red dot disappeared and it did like a little green burst animation. Like a little shockwave, water drop. Not water drop, but like ripple animation. That's the thing about Nintendo games, usually. There's like a lot of little subtle cues that you can pick up on that's going to help you in the game. But that's how you take out the Guardians. You can whack them with a weapon, but they are really resistant, they have really good defense, and they have... You're going to burn through your weapons quickly. It's better just to parry them. I think there's a second one over here, too. I think it's this one right here is when it's active. These guys do respawn eventually. Enemies do eventually respawn. Anytime you're going to do something risky that may result in your death, just drop a hard save. You don't have to go that far back. Let me try that experiment again. I'm going to look at the reticle on Link. I was I early with that one or late with that one? That's the hard thing to take note. I think it was early with that one. I've gotten rusty with this because in Tears of the Kingdom there's no enemy like this. The Guardians only exist in this game. I think everyone heard the complaints about the Guardians and said, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it's when the reticle animation changes. That seems to be a good way to judge it. The reason I'm killing these things is because they're dropping ancient shafts, and ancient gears, and ancient screws, and ancient springs, and... The ruined ones, that's the ones that are, like, sitting there, they don't move. They just shoot. They only drop those. I want to get good at the parry because... There's going to be moving ones later on. They're not fun. But let me go over here and get my really cool, snazzy Nintendo Switch shirt. Let me just equip this so it's really tacky. Immersion ruined forever. Immersion breaking! Yay! Biage. Oh, dude, it's a biage. It's the what's it called? Shark from IKEA. Bahaj. Bahaj Shrine. Yo, we going to IKEA. I'm kidding. We're not going to IKEA. The next few streams I play this game, I'm going to experiment with kind of goofing around, but also making progress. I want to have a goal set in my mind. The goal tonight is just getting off the Great Plateau. And then if I reach that goal and it's not toward the end of the stream, I'll start heading toward Kakariko Village. The next stream will probably be going for Kakariko Village and then Hateno and doing the side quests there before eventually going off and going to any of the darn main points we need to go to in the game. We have bombs now. 2 different kinds of bombs. There's a square bomb and a round bomb. And they're unlimited. Remember how we use axes to blow up crates and stuff, or to get crates and stuff open? If you don't mind everything flying fucking everywhere, you can use bombs instead. It's usually better not to use bombs because it does send all the loot flying everywhere. You should use a two-handed bladed weapon like a claymore or the woodcutter's axe. I know the spear does less damage, but the spear is a good weapon to have defensively. To open up crates, wooden crates, you need two-handed bladed weapons, like the woodcutter's axe or the traveler's claymore. These things will open those crates. And yes, you can blow yourself up with your own bomb, so be careful. But you don't have to worry about a timer on these bombs. These are basically remote bombs. They only go boom when you make them go boom, or if something's dumb enough to hit it. Like with a bow or something, I think. I might be wrong. I do know enemies can kick your bombs. They'll actually, like, kick them. Which is rather funny. Now there's a little sphere over there that's hopping back and forth. Usually in shrines, these little orbs are used to trip a puzzle. But in this case, the orb here that's jumping back and forth is here to hint the player about how the physics of the game work. It's like saying, hey, dumbass, try using your round bombs. Nintendo's really, really good with their game design on introducing concepts to the player in a safe environment before requesting the player to actually execute that little trick that they want you to learn. They do this in a lot of their games. Climbing ladders doesn't consume stamina, but you can still hop up them and drain stamina in the process, if you want. Now, if every one of these guardians going forward, or the monks going forward, we're just going to hit the X button to skip them, because they say the exact same thing. The ones that don't say the exact same thing are the ones that are in the blessing shrines. They say by finding this place, you've already proven yourself worthy. And then those all say the same thing. There's also combat shrines, where you have to fight a really powerful little guardian. In the event you open it, you go into a combat shrine, the best thing to do is just save the game before you attempt it. And if you can't beat it, then you either need to get better weapons or you need to brew up more powerful elixirs. Just to boost your strength. They are a bit of a bitch to deal with. Alright, onwards to the next shrine, which is up there. I see some goblins up ahead. And a beehive. I wonder. I don't wonder, I already know. I already know that this is something that you can do. And it's rather amusing, too. Now I'm taking your stuff. Now I know I have the woodcutter's axe, but I want to demonstrate this with the claymore to show that this is possible with the claymore as well. Apples, arrows. You always get arrows from these crates. Always worth to do it. Worth to do it. Where'd the honeycomb go? Over here. We want this. The coarser bee honey. Honey straight from the hive is chock full of nutrients. Cooking this into a meal unlocks the potential of these nutrients and provides a stamina recovery effect. So anything you cook with it give you stamina recovery. I'm only going to cook up 5 of these. I don't know why, when I exit this menu, I'm not facing the direction I'm facing. Want them on the campfire. Baked apples can burn, so you have to be careful. Now, as far as getting wood goes, 1 bomb to blow up the tree. 1 bomb to break the log into wood. Every single tree in the game, except like the really big ones, can be blown up like this. Including the apple trees, but that may not be a good idea because, well, the apples will go flying like this. Or, you know, maybe not. Maybe they don't go flying. Over here, we got some type of mushroom growing on a rock. That's actually going to be very useful to us. The rushroom. A mushroom that can grow almost anywhere, but prefers ceilings and sheer cliffs. Cook it before eating to temporarily increase your movement speed. Yeah, those are probably the most important things to grab. Those and the hot-footed frogs. Incredibly useful items. You should always have different types of weapons on you, not just all the same type. You want to have a bladed weapon for one reason. You can cut grass with bladed weapons. And when you cut grass, there's a chance that critters can spawn. Like those restless crickets. Cutting grass doesn't knock off durability of the weapon. I'll demonstrate with the one that's sparking. See? No damage. You can get hightail lizards that give you a speed boost elixir. And you can get the restless crickets, which give you a stamina recovery elixir. Very easily by cutting grass. Grass grows back as soon as you walk away from the area it's in. It's like not that far away. at all. And remember, Restless Crickets, all you have to do is put 1 to 4 of them with any monster part, and you'll have a potion that will restore your stamina. Speaking of stamina recovery foods, Stamella Shrooms. They also restore your stamina. Now, you only have 1 stamina wheel, so you probably want to make sure you're not using too many of these at once. About 2 or 3 of these at a time should be enough. I believe these can be broken with... No, they cannot. It actually has to be a 2-handed weapon. That one didn't have anything. Fortunate. These birds I'm scaring away, these big pigeons, they're food. Easy food. Line your shot up. I can't see it. Line your shot up. Kill 1. There's some armor you can get that makes you more stealthy. And I think there's a mask that does this too, that makes it so animals aren't afraid of you. And you can just walk up to them and club them, which is kind of funny. A pot lid. I guess it could work as a shield in a pinch. And there are these spicy peppers. Baked apple and a stamella shroom. And another woodcutter's axe. Something that's interesting. There's a little hatch. Which looks like a trap door or something right here. It's not the guy's bed. That's his bed right there. Is this a trap door? Why can't I open it? Why can't I go down it? What's up with this? The Old Man's Diary. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly. I created the perfect dish. I call it Spicy Meat and Seafood Fry. The recipe not only restores health, but also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer had that itchy warm doublet. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper, however, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I only have my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet. However, it seems very unlikely and such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. That's an example of an unmarked quest. There's plenty of these in the game as well. Unmarked. So, it already told us what it was. It was spicy meat and seafood fry. So we gotta find a body of water with some fish. I know exactly where we can find some. We're just gonna fast travel here. To the and Ao Shrine. Because in here, you can find fish in the water. We can also find treasure chests in the water. That I forgot were here. Magnetic crates, lift them up and drop them. Roasted bass. And look, arrows. Just what I need, more arrows. Arrows are a commodity in this game. Something else you can do is hold your controller down, flip it up, push B to release it, and it's another way to do it. I'll make sure I switch to my bombs for this. I could also use my arrows if I want. I could just shoot the fish with an arrow. This also works, but I think I remember seeing fish over here, and if not, they're over at the Temple of Time. But yeah, we got some fish. You know how Klee in Genshin Impact bomb fishes? Bomb fishing's a thing in Breath of the Wild. There's our bass. Back to the Jabaj Shrine. The Akia Shark Shrine. Back there we go. We're to cook up this dish and show it to the old man, but we will have to wait until evening. But fortunately, we can just sit by the campfire and wait until evening. If you look at the texture work of textures in this game, you'll notice that they're actually really low quality textures. They're not really that high quality of a texture. It's actually a little bit muddy and blurry at times. However, the team at Nintendo knew this, and because of that, they just worked it into the style, and they went for like this almost painterly stylized look. It goes to show that really graphics aren't everything. In fact, as much praise as I give Palworld, one thing I don't like about Palworld right now is the clash in art style. The style of the pals clashes with the player character, and it clashes with the environment. What Keith's eyeballs do? Mix it with critters to make something useful. It's fun to look at, but doesn't seem to have much use at first glance, but it must be good for something. That's good. The eyeballs you just sell. Fortunately, up here there's no Lionel. If you play on the Master Mode, there's actually a silver Lionel lurking around these woods. I'm not joking. You'll have the starting equipment, and you'll be like, okay, I'm just going to avoid that guy. And that's probably a good idea, because he's going to beat your ass. That Lionel will fucking kill you. Hey look, the apple tree respawned already, but the apples have not. That's unfortunate. I'm really curious how Nintendo did grass in this game, though. Because apparently, you see how the grass is reacting to the player? Yet, it doesn't seem to be dropping the frames of the game too bad. Are they signpost objects? They're not, but they're like... I don't know, it has to do with how they're rendering the grass is less expensive. Yet Game Freak couldn't figure it out with Scarlet and Violet, because areas that are dense with grass in Scarlet and Violet bring the game to a crawl. Another old man is hanging out over here. It was a spicy meat and seafood fry. So any type of meat, including bird drumstick and a Hylian bass. We save some in case this isn't it. I believe that is it. Oh, switching to the save tab. Put my items away. Spicy meat and seafood. There it is, spicy meat and seafood fry. Grants low-level cold resistance, a filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. Hello, old man. Oh ho, fancy that. So we meet again. What are you doing? This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot you can use to cook yourself a meal. Got any tips? Simply open your inventory and grab hold of your ingredients and toss them in. Try to consider how the ingredients will complement one another. You can even make a dish that increases your stamina. It's all about being creative and trying different things. Oh, ho, ho. If you've moved by any wild culinary inspirations, feel free to cook yourself a meal by using my pot over there. I cooked something. Wait. Is that... That looks just like my signature perfect dish. Spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that is not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? It's in the name of the damn food, my man. Ah, of course. Hyrule Bass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now, please allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet. With that, you'll be able to resist the bite of colder environments. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, so I can do without a warm doublet. There was another way to get the warm doublet. It was to actually go all the way up Mount Hylia, up here, and talk to him. He'll be up here and he'll give you the doublet as well. But this is how you do it without having to go through all that trouble. Something else I'm going to do. Let's get back in here. Use a key swing. And three of these guys. I think that'll give me... Yeah, almost full energizing elixir. 1, 2, and a key swing. And then the hot-footed frog is speed boost, and the high-tailed lizard is also speed boost, right? This and the wing, and the horn, and the thing. I think that'll increase the duration. Yep, hasty elixir. 2 rush rooms. Store those in. That should also give us haste for 2 minutes. And then just a regular hot-foot frog and a fang. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Those increase our movement speed. It's going to be good. We'll get off the Great Plateau by the time I end stream. I'll extend stream time a little bit. To get off it, and then I'll end stream right there. I got him before he could blow his horn so he didn't alert anybody. Get the claymore out. Not the claymore, the traveler's... What's it called? That's a Boko bow, right? About the same amount of damage as what I already got, but it's fresh, so we'll swap it out. There's a way to increase your maximum amount of stuff you can carry. Wait, they're sleeping. I think I have a weaker weapon. Go use these up. One advantage to waiting till nighttime is you can sneak into their camps and bonk them on the head. Just make sure you crouch back down before moving. After you do a sneak strike, you stand up. Also, don't bump into them, or you'll wake them right up. Wait for the prompt. Didn't know what hit him. Well, the one guy on the sniper tower knew what hit him. It was me. He was about to blow his horn, and I just noped his ass right out. Now, how about some arrows? Ooh, a bundle of arrows. Nice. Apples and arrows. And seared steak. Seared steak is another food item that can stack. I think anything that you can roast is stackable. If it has an X next to the icon, it's a stackable item. Right? If you go up to Death Mountain, you can just place items on the ground and they will actually just cook. Which is rather funny. I just realized the Hyrule Bass does 1 heart. A roasted bass is actually the best healing item, that and the steaks. The drumsticks, the sticks of meat. I don't know what the maximum stack limit of an item is. I think it's 999. So you could actually just go to Death Mountain and drop a bunch of items on a flat surface and just roast them all up. That way you have spammable healing items. I don't know what's better. If it's better to have, like, one item that fully restores your health, or if it's better to have spammable items. It may be better to cook stuff that gives you effects. Throwing spear. I believe I have a Boko shield that's about to break. Let me drop that. I have a Boko club that's damaged. Swap that out. I have a Boko bow. Swap out for a fresh one. Now I could use a fire arrow to get rid of those, or I could just do this. I can light arrows on fire. Now, of course, we got bees in there. That's how you take care of bees. You blow them up. Sometimes you just gotta think outside of the box. When you think outside of the box, you might just find a handy way to take out something. I didn't... Oh, that's right, I did. It was the throwing spears in there. So, let me drop this. Let me get those throwing spears. It's only one throwing spear, mind you. Specialized spear weighed to excel as a throwing weapon, perfectly balanced to be thrown from further than your average spear, able to pierce targets from a great distance. I think it does more damage if you throw it, versus not throwing it. Fireflies. Hey look! Breath of the Wild has fireflies. Why can't Minecraft have fireflies, Mojang? I will not stop bringing up the firefly things. I am so jaded over that. I'm so mad over that, dude. Some freaking nerd on Reddit fucking ruined fireflies. I wanted to have ambient fireflies that just existed, that you could stick in a bottle, and then either just, like, place the bottle in your house, or, freaking, like, release them, and have them just, like, exist as, like, little particles. I think that would have been cool. We had to do this across this chasm. Ooh, that's a long fall. Take note of this area, though, because after we can get off the Great Plateau, we can go back here, and I think there's treasure back there. We can't do it now, because there's an, like, no-go fog down there. Like, if we go down there, that fog is going to grab us and, like, make us take damage. It'll act like being out of bounds. Surprise! And... surprise! Ooh. Another bombable wall. What do we have back here? A chest. What's inside the chest? I must know. Ooh, fire arrows. Very, very nice. Now we have to climb, unfortunately. Swap my Boko club out for a fresh one. Because why not? Oh, there's a lizard. I'm gonna get that lizard. Hey, buddy. Oh, shit. That's what I get for fucking around. Damn it! Remember those mushrooms I cooked up? I think it's time to go munch on those. Speed up. As you can see, it's a passive effect. You can only have one passive effect active at a given time. There's some armor that'll give you a passive effect, though, so it's a little bit of a misnomer. If there's armor that gives you passive effects, you can stack that with a potion or food passive effect. You can only have an effect to affect you from food, or Only one effect you from food at a time. It's only one food effect or elixir effect at once. I think there's an old man somewhere in the game that will sell you... That'll buy mushrooms off you for a lot of money. Just go climb a lot of mushrooms, you'll be good. The trick here to climb this is you... This is just basically teaching the player, hey, idiot, here's how you climb. You want to, like, find spots where you can rest. Over here, the rest spots are obvious. It's these little outcropped rocks. But as you're climbing, you're not going to find outcrops like this. You'll find, like, little nooks where you can just hold on to it. Get more of these mushroom shrooms, dude. I wonder if mushrooms were considered a controlled substance back when Hyrule wasn't destroyed. Does it make you go fast? You think it would be considered like a performance-enhancing drug. I hear style goblins. Style bokoblins. But it's about to be daytime, so they're about to feck off. Doop-de-doop-de-doop-doop. I'll just hang out right here. He has a traveler spear, though. I don't want that traveler spear. Owa Daim Shrine. It does less damage than the current spear I got. Also think there's a EX treasure chest. Can't get that treasure chest. Wonder how I'm gonna get that treasure chest then. Okay, minimal distractions because we're past the 2-hour mark when I wanted to stop. Because it is midnight. I want to wake up in the morning. I'll bump my alarm down from 9 AM to 10 because I turned my alarm off because I did not go to sleep until 4 AM last night. I'll probably go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning tonight. And I'll just set an alarm to go off at 10 AM. Because I think like 2 hours off of 10 AM is 8 hours, and that should be enough time to sleep. Though, oddly enough, even though I went to bed at 4, I wound up waking up at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I just went back to sleep and said, screw it. Then I think I woke up again at 10 AM. You know, it wasn't really a cold day today. My mom came home. My mom has a cold or something. It's 70 degrees in the house, and she turned the damn fireplace on. I'm like, it is not that cold. Why do you have the fireplace on? But then again, at my day job, I stand inside of a cooler most of the day, so I'm used to standing. Like, I stand in this cooler without a jacket unless it's like a really cold day outside. Like, if it's freezing outside, then I'll wear my jacket in the cooler. But most of the time, I'm just wearing a short sleeve work shirt. Now, it may be a little bit misleading, these first few shrines. These shrines are kind of like traditional Zelda dungeons. They, you get the rune, and then you use the rune. But, I'm gonna drop my pot lid for that. Later shrines may require you to use multiple runes at once. It's kind of the cool thing about this game. Like, instead of a dungeon being centered around only 1 or 2 items, they can design the rest of the game's open world to have you kind of do... to challenge you to use, like, different items. Let me get this sledgehammer. We're gonna need that. We actually need that for this puzzle. The last Zelda game that came out before this one was not Skyward Sword. It was actually a 3DS game called The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. And A Link Between Worlds was actually used for the DNA of this game, believe it or not. The whole have access to all the tools you're going to have access to at the beginning of the game, and then challenge the player to use those tools. Instead of throwing a new tool at the player, and then, like, having the whole dungeon be a tutorial on that tool, you instead give the player all the tools at the beginning of the game, have a couple small dungeons to teach you how it works, and then you give the player a sandbox. Like, every challenge you throw at the player is a sandbox type challenge, and you expect the player to remember, hey, you have the stasis runes, you have the bombs, you have the magnesis rune, you have the cryosis rune. So, like, maybe you're fighting enemies and they are using, like, ranged weapons or something. Maybe a guardian is chasing you and shooting lasers at you. And you just happen to walk through a puddle of water and you're like, wait a minute, I can pull out the cryosis rune and I can make an ice pillar that can act as cover. Or you can cross water with the cryosis rune as well. Alright, we need to equip that warm doublet, because that's where we're going next. Gotta go all the way over here. But let me go back to the Shrine of Resurrection, because I remember there is a abominable wall I couldn't get to just yet. The Stamina Wheel straight up told you about swing and just explained what I said. If you don't have enough hearts to take the damage, it's game over. The Great Plateau has a bunch of treasure chests scattered across it as well. It's not just the path I'm taking. Like, when I first played this game, I stayed on the Great Plateau for probably like 5 or 10 hours. Even though the game's like, hey, go here next. I'm like, I want to explore the rest of the Great Plateau. Because there's like parts of it that you don't touch, like the Hopper Pond and the Forest of Spirits. You don't really go here. You kind of ignore this entire area, because if you hit this last shrine last, you'll just wind up going straight to the Temple of Time. There's a boss here. There's a boss there. And that boss in particular, I know exactly where it is. I'll just spoil it. It's like in the opening in the Forest of Spirits. Right here. It's a world boss. There's plenty of them. And they are tracked like in Tears of the Kingdom. And there are trophies for defeating every world boss. They'll have a little check mark next to their name if you've beaten them before. Because they do respawn eventually. I don't think the conditions for making monsters respawn happens when you're on the Great Plateau, at least not normally. It can happen, though, because of how the respawning thing works. I'm calling it the respawn. I know what it's called. This isn't a case of I'm stalling to remember what it's called. I know what the hell it's called. I'm deliberately not saying its name, though, because I don't want to spoil it. Also see some fish. So you see the weather, you see like light, when you see light, you know that like rain can affect certain things, sound can affect certain things. Something you may not pay attention to is the wind. You hear the wind blowing every now and then. Wind can actually blow your bombs around. They can blow items around, they can blow bombs around. You gotta be mindful of the bombs being blown around. Now, because I have the DLC, I think the next stream I play this game, which I'm going to make the schedule tonight, and it'll be uploaded tomorrow, you'll see it. And I actually mean it this time. It's not like, oh, I'm going to make the schedule tomorrow, guys, and then I don't do it until, like, Tuesday. I'm going to get on my ass about that this month. To take it seriously. I'm a 500-plus subscriber channel. I need to start acting like it. That doesn't mean I'm going to change too much, you know, like unrecognizable. I'm still going to be the same cringe baby you know, but a little more competent. I'm going to need to get rid of one of my items for this next trick. Let me get rid of the Boko Club. I'm going to look for an item called a Korok Leaf. Oh, never mind. I don't have cryosis to cross that. I pick my club back up. We can't go that way. I'm pretty sure there's... Hey, look! A fresh woodcutter's axe. I'll take that. Link, the menace to Hyrule. Litters everywhere. Remember earlier when I said about the little tolerance thing being the little bars? I've knocked off one of the bars. Already. That's because the clothes I have gives me... frost resistance. Or cold resistance. And if I drink a potion that gives me cold resistance, I don't know if it's going to give me cold resistance 2, or if it's just cold resistance 1. I think it gives you cold resistance 2. By the way, if you're opening chests and constantly being like, oh, you don't have any inventory space, then you're playing the game wrong. At first, I was one of the people that didn't like the weapon durability system of the game, but I've gotten used to it. Once I understood why the system's there, that was a nasty knock, then I appreciated it for what it is. Yoink. Burn, bitch. Okay, shields. Any shields that are damaged? No. Okay. No damaged shields. What about the bows? Any bows that are damaged? I think the one I have equipped is damaged. Drop and swap. Horn and give me the woodcutter. Break the crate. Give me some arrows. It was just one this time. Damn it. Hey! Arrows. Nice. Those little birds over there, you can shoot them with arrows as well, but they only give you like little chickadee seeds. It's not really worth killing the little birds. Leave the cute little birdies alone. Even though Genshin Impact borrows a lot from Breath of the Wild, it still doesn't borrow the climbing system from Breath of the Wild. It's just a, like, Genshin Impact and Craftopia and Palworld all have the same type of climbing system. It's just you climb a wall and you just drain stamina over time. There is no increase or decrease in stamina consumption rate based on the angle of the wall. It really doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't like hurt the gameplay any, but I still find it a little bit disappointing. Because it kind of adds a little more strategy to the game. Like, stamina management, climbing in this game, climbing Breath of the Wild, requires your full attention. If you want to climb efficiently. In Genshin Impact and Palworld, it's just a hold forward. Oh shit, there's a guy. Give me the spear. See, the thing about spears is they may not do a lot of damage, but I have superior range. I can poke you with the spear before you can poke me with your weapon. That's a better shield. Let me drop this one for this one. The spiked Boko shield. What's in the chest? Opening chests in this game is so much damn fun. I don't know if chests respawn in the game. I don't think they do. Because every time I open the chest, the game auto-saves. I think they do not respawn. There's just a fuck ton of chests in the game. I don't even think I've opened every chest in this game at all. There's no way to track. Like, there's no, like, statistics menu that shows you how many chests you've opened. At least I don't think. Maybe there is when you beat the game. Because I remember when you beat the game, remember I said I, like, loaded a last save, then let the game fully save or something? When you finish the game, it does give you a statistics screen on the map that tells you, like, how many quests you've cleared out of the total side quests, how many, shrines you've cleared out of the total that are in the game, and how many Korok seeds you've gotten out of the total. It does tell you those numbers. That much I do remember. I was heading over this way because there's an EX chest, but I don't need to. I need to be heading for the shrine, clearing it, and then finishing up the Great Plateau and starting the main quest. Wait, that's right. Don't I have a shitty shield? Yeah, hold on, let me get a shitty shield real quick. I just remembered something about this game that I just remembered it. It's really cool. Let me just... Oh, never mind. Let me hazardly drop down here. Come on, drop. If I jump, I'm gonna push X, then I'm gonna push ZL and push A. So it's jump, shield, and shield parry. I'm gonna do this. Every time you do this, it knocks a bit of durability off the shield, but this is how you travel. There's actually a mini game you can play that has you sled down a damn thing like that. Hey, boyos! Sup, punks? Oh shit, he's throwing shit at me. Knock it off! Throwing spear damage? Okay, I'll just throw the spear then. Give me a sword. You gotta be careful about fire, because, like, if these guys hit my shield, and I kept my shield up, your shield can actually get destroyed. I'm serious, that can happen. You gotta be very careful about that. Urge to explode barrels rising. Just keep moving, don't blow up the barrels. It's gonna result in a death. I haven't saved in a while, only just drop a save too. I don't have to, just wanted to. I mean, it's gonna autosave when I go up here. Heh, Namut Shrine. Heh, Namut. Namut. Skip this animation, go here, skip this animation. Get right into the loading screen. The difference between winning and losing a battle often comes down to strategy. I didn't get a chance to read the rest of it because the game loads really fast. Unlike the Wii U version where it loads really slow. That's the good thing about the Switch version of it. It loads a lot faster. Chica Slate authenticating distilling rune. You might notice we're missing a rune. The next part of the game, like the next quest we do, eventually leads us to a place called Hateno Village, where we'll get the last rune. It's not a cool rune like Cryosis, Stasis, Magnesis, or the Remote Bomb. It's just a camera. But there is a Pokédex in this game. There's a Pokédex for, like, items and enemies and stuff. And, completing that is completely optional, but you can if you want. Alright, a Traveler's Spear. Oh, inventory's full. I know the Boko Club does more damage, but Traveler's weapons actually have more durability. That and it's a spear-type weapon. I mean, I've already got 3 club weapons, an axe, a sledgehammer, a claymore, and a sword. I have 3 bladed weapons, a blunt weapon that's unwieldy, that's used for smashing rocks, and clubs, which are just blunt weapons. I also have 5 metallic weapons and 3 non-metallic weapons. That's also important to take note of. There's thunder and lightning in this game, and Breath of the Wild is the only game I've seen utilize lightning in a way I've never seen used in any other game. That's it. That's all you gotta do. There was a trick you can do to get up here, though. It's like setting off doing a shield surf midair while bomb jumping or something. There's actually a way to get mad air in this game. There's a glitch. I don't know how to do it. But it involves, like, setting off as a bomb rune while shield surfing midair while doing bullet time or something. You have to have an enemy be at you. Then you have to, like, jump off the bomb or something at the last minute, and it launches you way up in the air because of how the bullet time affects the game's physics. When the bomb goes off and it throws you out of bullet time, it like applies a fuck ton of momentum to you, which just sends you flying, which is kind of funny. And it sends you flying so fast the game can't keep up and it actually starts lagging the fuck out. Like, you see the little loading icon on the bottom left that's doing that? If it doesn't say saving, it's loading. You'll see that appear a whole bunch, like at least 2 or 3 times, when you do the glitch. That sends you flying halfway through. It actually sends you halfway across Hyrule. It's an insane way to travel. Oh, it's the old man. It's also time to hydrate. With this, you have now acquired all the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh, ho, ho. Extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map, with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. You understand? Where the 2 lines connecting the shrines would cross, there I will be waiting. After you acquired the spirit orbs from the shrines, the old man told you he'll be waiting at the place centered amid the 4 shrines before mysteriously disappearing. Ah, yeah. I loved this little hint, by the way. We've got a line here and a line here. And we've got a line here and a line here. And that would center us over the Temple of Time. So that's where you have to go next. I'd normally grab that treasure chest, but I'm a little pressed for time. I've also still got to clean some things after making dinner. That's why I started streaming at 10 and not 9, is I was making dinner, and again, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated it to. I wanted to start making dinner at 7. I didn't make it till 7:30. And I didn't eat dinner till about 8:30. It took a little while to get started. After I left work yesterday, I decided to buy some pizza crust mix and some stuff to make a little homemade pizza. I haven't made one of those in a while. And I will say, making the pizzas from, well, not entirely from scratch, it's not really from scratch, but making it from, like, a dough mix and a jar of sauce and actual, like, shredded cheese and stuff, it tastes a lot better than getting frozen pizzas. And there was a time, it was back at my last job, I would buy an entire case of the pizza mix. I would have like 7 of them. And I'd make those pizzas. And they're really good. I mean, it can make like a... It's supposed to make a 14-inch pizza, but I'm actually able to stretch that pizza dough out to stretch it out into a thin 16-inch. Just sometimes the dough gives me a bit of a hard time. What am I doing? Take the armor off. Idiot. I can keep the warm doublet on, because it's not as tacky as the Nintendo Switch shirt. And it gives me the cold resistance, which is handy. The Temple of Time. That's where this old man wants me to go. Now listen to the music really carefully. I'll be quiet so you can hear it. And then if you've heard the music, listen to this. The sound designers of Breath of the Wild actually said that they wanted to use the classic themes from the Zelda franchise, not just from Ocarina of Time, but from other games. But they didn't want to make it on the nose. They didn't want to make it obvious, because any sort of theme, triumphant or otherwise, would clash with the design of the game they're going for, of it being a survival type of game. So they always did subtle things like that. In this case, they just had a piano play the opening melody of the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. Only the first bit of it, though, and they space it out. So you won't really notice it unless you actively listen for it, and I think that is so cool. When I first heard about it, I thought it was bullshit until I actually listened to Temple of Time from this game and sped it up. I'll do that as well. Let me find that. I'll mute the game again, even though you'll still hear it on desktop. If I speed this up to 1.75, it should be a little more obvious of what this is. Really cheeky. Just give a little listen as you play this game or watch me play it, and maybe you'll pick up on other little audio-visual Easter eggs to other Zelda games. I know Kakariko Village definitely has one, although Kakariko Village is a little more subtle. You have to really listen for it. You get that stealth strike? Yeah! Up the butt. I'm gonna go over this. I want to break these pots real quick. The reason why is because there can be arrows in them. We get a bundle of arrows. What's in the chest? A traveler's bow. It's stronger than the current bow I got because we saw the little arrow. So even in like other RPG games, this game also has like a equipment comparison system. There's a statue up ahead. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me what it is you desire. We can go for stamina wheels or heart containers. Early games, many people would recommend stamina vessels. I'm going to go for heart containers for a very specific reason. There is one weapon that does not break, but instead needs to recharge, and that is the Master Sword. But in order to draw the Master Sword from its pedestal, we need a lot of hearts. And after we draw the Master Sword from its pedestal, we will unlock one of the DLCs. That will make the Master Sword even stronger. That, at the end of it, will make the Master Sword permanently in its awakened state, doing twice the amount of damage it does normally. So, yeah, we're going to go for heart containers for a certain point. I'll look it up real quick. You need 13 full heart containers, so we need to get 10 more hearts. Well, 9 more hearts. Which would be... That's not right. 40. Be 40. 32. 32 more shrines. So once we have cleared 40 shrines and exchange those for heart containers, we will be good. After you get the 13 hearts for the heart for the Master Sword, it's actually better just to put everything into stamina because you can get extra stamina by making potions, and if your stamina wheel is maxed out, you still get extra stamina. So you can actually have 3 stamina wheels and then 2 extra stamina wheels from potion effects. But there's elixirs you can make as well that give you extra hearts. They give you little yellow absorption hearts that go away when you take damage. And unlike the stamina wheel that you can get like 2 more wheels when you max out the stamina, if you max out your heart containers, which I think is 30 in this game, it's either 25 or 30, there's just like a few more in Tears of the Kingdom. You have actually more health in Tears of the Kingdom. If your hearts are maxed out, and you have an elixir that gives you like 12 extra hearts, you're not going to get those 12 extra hearts. You're capped at the 20 or 30 hearts you get. I think it's 30. I think it's 2 rows is 5. So it's actually better to max out your stamina in the game than it is to max out your hearts. Because even though it's like, oh man, you know, I want to have the 30 hearts, you can have the... You can have... I think, what is the highest absorption elixir? Oh, there's actually a 20 extra hearts recipe. The best elixirs and recipes you can cook are below. Spicy meat and seafood fry, the enduring mushroom skewer. Those aren't the best ones. There's a little video that came up. There's Screen Rant. That's what the maximum is. So the best ones for hearts. Yeah, there's a steamed fruit recipe that'll give you 28 hearts. Steamed meat, glazed mushrooms, glazed meat, and steamed fruit. 4 raw gourmet meats and 1 Endura carrot will give us a maximum of 28 extra hearts. 4 big hearty truffles and 1 coarser bee honey will give us 28 hearts. 4 raw gourmet meat and 1 coarser bee honey will give us... The coarser bee honey does that? I didn't know that. That will give us the 28 hearts. 4 hearty durians and 1 Endura carrot will also do it. Endura carrots give you extra stamina, though. That's interesting. That's interesting, though. There's the steamed meat. 4 raw gourmet meat and Endura carrot. The very first dungeon we should do should be the cold dungeon up here. I usually do the Azura dungeon first, but that's not the one you should do first. It should be Hebra first. Then it should be Death Mountain. Then Zora. Then Gerudo. That should be the order you do it in. The game actually kind of nudges you in that direction. It kind of hints at it with the quests that it'll tell you. That'll be on the next stream I do of this. But up here, you can... There's an area. It's not here. It's this region. There's a flat land that you can go to. There's a Lionel in the middle, so you gotta be careful. But there's a flat bit of land that you can run back and forth between 2 shrines. One of them's near a stable. And there's like these giant rhinos that appear. And if you can jump off your horse and headshot them, you're guaranteed to get gourmet meat from them. They drop like, I think, 2 to 3 gourmet meat. So it's very easy to get gourmet meat. The reason I know this is because it's actually the fastest way to get rupees in the game. One of the fastest ways it is. Like, that's renewable. Alright, let's go talk to the old man and finally get this paraglider. I will point out, this guy is a Poe.
Well done there, young one.
Notes to the lantern.
The time has come to show you who I truly am.
Who are you?
I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule. A kingdom which no longer exists.
King Roham, the last king of Hyrule.
The great calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here is the paraglider. Just as I promised. An item that you received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Push X while you're in the air to use it. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. Is at this point in the game that we can, if we're bold and foolish, go straight for Hyrule Castle. But we were told those guardians are all around Hyrule Castle. So it would be quite the fight to get there. You can just go right and destroy Ganon and get an unsatisfactory ending. There's a couple endings in the game. There's one ending where you just go right for Hyrule Castle and save the princess, with Link having no memories of his past life before he was revived, and with the divine beasts not being saved. Then there's a second ending where you've saved the divine beasts but don't restore all of Link's memories. And then there's a third true ending where you have saved the divine beasts and have restored all of Link's memories. I'll tell you right now, we probably should be going to Kakariko Village instead. Oh, and of course, a star piece lands in the fields of Hyrule. I'm not going over there. That is not happening. Not one bit. I drop this Boko Bow for this. If you wanted to do it, though, you'd have to infiltrate Hyrule Castle. Then make sure you grab a hold of the one lone waypoint that's in there. Go out of your way to fight a mini-boss or a side-boss that's in Hyrule Castle to get the best shield in the game. The shield is breakable. It will get destroyed after taking enough abuse, but it's got the most durability in the game. Then you'll want to wander around Hyrule Castle and pick up weapons from the castle itself. You want to get as many of them as you can hold. Get some materials along the way to get the best potions and elixirs you can get. Preferably extra health and stuff. And you also want to have elixirs that will increase the damage you deal. Because you basically will have to fight all of the bosses in the game in a gauntlet. So at any point in the game, you can go to Hyrule Castle and try to take out Ganon, but when you do, you have to fight the bosses from the Divine Beasts, or at least the ones you haven't defeated yet. There's no way to skip a boss, unless there's like a glitch or something you can do that I'm not aware of. Now, I was about to say that's it for the stream, but I just remembered I wanted to show this one little mini-boss off. The mini-boss is off in this direction. That clearing down there? Not down there. The clearing in the woods. Right here. That's where we have to go. Now, if you jump off this cliff, you will die. It is a lethal fall. We're looking for a pile of rocks. Right there. That's what we're looking for. Oops. Alright, so to fight this guy, you want to blow his arms up. Or just run. There's the opportunity to climb him, and I glitched right through him instead. This is what we want the sledgehammer for. So this is another way to make money in this game, is to kill the taluses. Taluses will drop amber, opals, flint, and rubies and sapphires, and like all the gemstones. I don't think it needs to be said that gemstones are some of the most valuable items you can get. Give you the most amount of rupees, of which we haven't gotten a single rupee on this entire stream. Blue nightshade, which is somehow not poisonous. There is a flower in real life called nightshade. Nightshade is actually an extremely toxic flower. It's very poisonous. You should not eat nightshade under any circumstance. You will get very sick. Possibly even die if you're not careful. So we were told that we want to seek out Impa and head east. That's what we want to do. And that's what we will do another time. I'm going to go up to the Great Plateau Tower. And I'll fly off from there on the next stream of my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough. I'm not going to just play this game repeatedly. It might be once, maybe twice a week. Along with some other games I'm trying to finish. But I felt like it was time to actually do this game justice and actually beat it once and for all. Then I will probably not play Tears of the Kingdom right afterwards. I'll probably play something else as a full playthrough, and then I'll go and do Tears of the Kingdom. Well, as the sun rises over another day in Hyrule, I think it's time to call it here for our night. Calamity Ganon will patiently wait. I'm going to save the game right here. And I want to call it for the night. Thank you so much for watching the stream. If you enjoyed the stream, be sure to leave it a like. And subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss a stream. I'm going to make my stream schedule for this week. I'm going to make my thumbnails for the streams. So I can make my waiting rooms. Because that's something I'm really bad at. It's making the waiting. Maybe I should only do one waiting room at a time, though. Maybe, like, I don't know, irritating. Say, like, multiple waiting rooms. So I think I'll just do one at a time. But, like, when I end stream, just remember to do the next waiting room. This will be a good time to just take that capture real quick so I can use that for a thumbnail. I will catch you guys next week. I do not know if I'm going to stream on Monday or not. I'm on the fence about it. I may just do it. Because why not? And then, fortunately, after this weekend, I will have 2 days off, and it's not off on like it's been this week. So I'll have off Tuesday and Wednesday, so there'll be some longer streams on those days. I'll probably start in the afternoon on those days, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stick to the same time. Just do 2-3 hours. Well, that's it for the stream tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me over on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/Tsukino Azura. Because I stream over on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday. And I stream over here on YouTube every Wednesday and Friday. My stream schedules that I post, I usually put a little icon next to them, like either a Twitch icon or a YouTube icon, so you'll know when I'm streaming where. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Good night, everyone.